पहले I got to know that some people were really uncomfortable कि एक लड़की को इतनी पावर कहाँ से मिल गई, कि ये तो छोटी सी है, ये मर्दों की दुनिया में कहाँ से आ गई।
ये सोसाइटी की जनरली थोड़ी प्रॉब्लम है।
I like to play girls who behave well under difficult circumstances. We do not celebrate being silly enough. हम इतने ये जो सीरियस बनते जाते हैं, जो ज्ञानी बनते जाते हैं, उसका पॉइंट क्या है? if you're not having fun, कि आप दो जिसमें एक जन नहीं हो, आप दो इंडिविजुअल्स हो जिनकी दो अलग अलग डिफरेंट नीड्स हैं। फेलियर को फेलियर की तरह ना देखते हुए उससे आप देखो कि आपको लर्निंग क्या लेनी है। स्ट्रॉन्ग फीमेल फ्रेंडशिप्स मेक यू बिलीव yes you can have whatever dream you want to have and we are there with you and for you.
Hi Shweta.
Hi Bani.
Thank you for coming and thank you for getting me a beautiful sunflower.
That is to brighten up your day and your mood, and I hope that memory stays with you, and whenever you want that little.
Yeah, I'll think of you now. When I see sunflowers, I'll think of you.
Thank you.
This is the first time that, usually, of course, people get with them amazing stories and they give me their time. But this is the first time somebody came bearing a, beautiful flowers. So I'm very touched.
I hope stories be interesting. पता चला कि flower के साथ हमने अपना कोटा complete कर लिया है।
नहीं, stories तो interesting होंगी क्योंकि इतने interesting characters play जो करते हैं उसके बाद stories तो interesting होंगी।
That's true. Yeah.
है ना? तो अभी देखो बहुत सारी बातें करेंगे।
हाँ।
करनी तो है ही।
हाँ।
But quick touch on what a huge fan I am of Mirzapur, and my dad, actually we've both seen it.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that makes me happy.
Yeah, and I'm a Golu fan.
Come on!
Yeah, so
even I'm a Golu fan.
What is the last few weeks been like for you?
Bani, it's been so overwhelming. It's been a little confusing, and all things from sound healing to bars therapy has been used. Also because जब आप कोई काम करते हो और आप वो fully enjoy करते हो, you are just hoping that when it comes out, people appreciate, people enjoy, and people understand. And by appreciate, I don't mean कि सिर्फ हमें वाह-वाही सुननी है, सिर्फ तालियां सुननी है. We want to know that what are they feeling when they see this? What are they thinking? What are the conversations that are sparking because of what they've seen? So that matters a lot to me. So Mirzapur के साथ, again, I try to not have any expectations, and that's obviously very difficult. But मैंने ये खुद के experiences के साथ देखा है कि जहाँ expectation आ जाती है ना, तो वो मजा कहीं ना कहीं किरकिरा हो ही जाता है. So like in Masaan, and that was my first film that came out, or even Kya Masala Life for that matter, I did not expect anything. I did that because I liked the material, I liked the people who were making it, and I put my trust in them. And then Masaan, Mirzapur, Kya Masala Life, all these things, they've given me so much.
Yeah.
लेकिन वही होता है जब सीजन के बाद दूसरा सीजन आता है, फिर तीसरा सीजन आता है, तो you are really hoping hard because there is a lot of love, money, of course, that goes into it, effort, but a lot of emotions also go into it. So, and we've been on this journey for almost 9 years now with Mirzapur, with Golu.
Oh wow!
Yeah, since
been
we
nearly
started,
a decade.
Yeah, exactly. So then those memories, we've lived those memories.
Yeah.
So, तो जब एक लोगों ने देखा, also again understanding that viewing has become so different now.
Yeah.
क्योंकि there is, जो मैंने अभी realize किया, there are also viewers who are anxious viewers.
Yeah.
जिनको जल्दी से खत्म कर देना है, because, and rightly so, I guess, there are such fans of the series that उनको एक रात में खत्म कर देना है और जल्दी से देख लेना है. But the thing is that it is heavy.
Yeah.
It has become darker because of what these characters are going through.
Yeah.
What they are up to, what has been done to them. तो कहीं ना कहीं तो वो एक टोल लेगा, and that's not a bad thing. But yes, maybe you need to put in a little more effort to understand where they are coming from and why they are doing what they are doing. तो anyway, ये सब समझते समझते reactions जो आए हैं, response जो आया है, has been so different. Right from my पहले I got to know that some people were really uncomfortable कि एक लड़की को इतनी power कहाँ से मिल गई? कि ये तो छोटी सी है, ये मर्दों की दुनिया में कहाँ से आ गई?
ये society की generally थोड़ी problem है.
And you know that's the beauty about cinema कि जो society है ना, जैसे आपको सिनेमा में भी वही दिखाई देगा. And with such characters and stories, we are trying to break that. Because my director, writer, our creators, we didn't think we should have thought that this will be an issue, but we were just being true to the character and doing justice to her and the people around. So then there were messages like Golu Bahubali, Golu King, and there are girls who are dressing up like Golu, and that feels so good because you know Golu ka. I really think how we dress up is an extension of how we feel. Our personality. So Golu is this non-fussy girl, and everything that she wears and does, it needs to be practical. So even the hair, even the kind of clothes, the shirt, the vest, the boots. So I really like her sense of style. And when girls start wearing clothes like that, or they cut their hair, then it feels nice because it's their love language. That is how fans show how much a character has impacted them, and that makes me very happy. So it's been a bag of mixed emotions, and now finally it's sinking in, and now really want to thank the audience because it's not easy. इतना प्यार, इतना obsession नहीं देखा है मैंने किसी और फिल्म या शो के लिए या character के लिए.
No, 100%. I think the wait is a testament कि लोग कितना इंतजार करते हैं next season के लिए, you know, and they're just like, when is it coming? When is it coming? You know, there's so much chat on the internet just about that. That shows people's commitment, and you know, I think every character's arc has been so interesting. You know, and there are fewer shows and fewer movies where you feel like multiple characters, you see them, you know, kind of shine in their own individualistic parts as well. I think Gangs was one such film, which was such a large ensemble cast, but everybody kind of loved every character for who they were. And I think Mirzapur is another such show.
True, like, you know, चाहे कोई एक line के लिए आए या कुछ scenes के लिए आए, like Valmiki और Rahim, the poet. मतलब इतना सब कुछ अपना flavor छोड़ के जाते हैं ना, तो वो बहुत मजा आता है. That whoever is coming, they are hitting it out of the park. And everybody is very secure. And it has some of my favorite actors and co-actors. So there's so much fun on stage. Like when you wake up and you're going to set, there is a certain joy. That is something that I really cherish.
I can imagine, but you know, I'm curious about the fact that you said that characters have gotten darker. The storyline has gotten darker. How do you withdraw from that? Because it's been a 9-year journey. The character, you come in and out of that character from time to time. What is the getting out of Golu process?
So I'm still trying to figure it out. In season 2, this had happened where I went down a spiral, and समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा था कि क्या हो रहा है, क्यों हो रहा है, क्योंकि ऐसा कभी कुछ हुआ. इनफैक्ट हुआ था, तब भी मुझे समझ नहीं थी. This happened during Haraamkhor. I used to get these nightmares about the characters from the film. But I did not understand what was happening. And then जब season 2 में ये हुआ, क्योंकि मैं गोलू के emotions को बहुत internalize कर रही थी. क्योंकि I don't like to draw from my personal experiences. I am this. I'm somebody who wears penguins and strawberries and ice creams, and I really enjoy this part of me. The very kya mast hai life. You know, if there's a character that I could relate to the most, it would be Xenia. From Kya Mast Hai Life. But the characters that I play, be it Ye Kali Kali Aankhein, or be it Laakhon Mein Ek season 2, I like to play girls who behave well under difficult circumstances. I like girls who are simple, who are relatable, but when put in a situation, you want to see what they're up to. Like, how will they react? What are they going to say? What are they going to do? Even if you're a good girl, or even if you're a good girl who's not so good anymore, because I think all of us are so full of color and flavor, यार. तो वो अभी हमें मौका मिला है अगर उसको explore करने को, उसे expand करने को, तो क्यों नहीं? तो गोलू के साथ भी I realized that I used to really psych myself into going into a world where there was a lot of anger, loss, aggression, shame, those feelings which take a toll on you. And it did take a toll on me. And then thankfully I met a therapist and she told me that आप इतना सब कुछ करते हो अपने character में जाने के लिए. What are you doing to get out of your character? And that's when I realized कि हाँ यार ये बहुत जरूरी है, because पता है हम काम के चक्कर में which we love and we might obsess over, we lose ourselves. Now that is something that's very important. No matter it might be to a person or to a company or to a cause. I think it's very important to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
Because अगर हम ही बह जाएंगे तो फिर हमें कौन संभालेगा? And अगर हमें चीजें संभालनी है, लोगों को संभालना है, या फिर we want to be that voice for a reason or a purpose, it's very important to protect your core. So music is something that used to help me, that I used to listen to. जैसे गोलू की playlist में मैं गाना सुनती थी, तो वैसे ही मैं फिर श्वेता की playlist में गाने सुनती थी.
The antidote.
Exactly. Which is happier, which is silly. Because I think we do not celebrate being silly enough. हम इतने ये जो serious बनते जाते हैं, जो ज्ञानी बनते जाते हैं, उसका point क्या है if you're not having fun, if you forget to do that, because that is essential.
Yeah.
To enjoy. मतलब जो भी like we were talking about you and your love for music.
Yeah.
But then again, with time, with age, with experiences, we change tracks, and that's absolutely all right. But I think no information or knowledge goes to waste. वो कहीं ना कहीं आपकी जिंदगी में आ ही जाएगा. चाहे it might be to guide somebody else, or it might be to enjoy something else. But you know, there's this book that I just started reading on creativity. And this is reminding me of that no matter how number driven or corporate your job might be or business might be, but creativity बहुत जरूरी है life में.
100%. I think the most successful businesses are run by people who have some sense of creativity. क्योंकि आप बिना creativity के बहुत सारे लोगों को reach out कर ही नहीं सकते. You can't reach the masses without that one zing of, some form of connection through art. Now, whether it's an interesting jingle, whether it's just a good visual that's just a print ad, all of that then becomes business creativity, in my opinion.
True.
But I think that is important. I think everybody should have some creative pursuit, even if they are analytically bent.
Absolutely.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
But you and I noticed this as soon as you entered, and you entered with like a warm hug and a flower. And from what you're saying, you seem like a very sensitive person. Have I got that right?
I'm a Cancerian. They're supposed to be emotional beings. Helps with the job.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
Yeah. But as that sensitive person, let's say when you're reading a script, do you need to sympathize with the character? Do you need to empathize and understand and almost be able to justify their actions before committing to doing it? Or can you just do it because it's seeming interesting and this would be a good story to tell?
That's a great question. So, and I'm thinking about it, कि जब भी मैं स्क्रिप्ट पढ़ती हूँ, I see that how am I responding to it? कि पहला क्या है कि without any filters, without any की thinking कि ये क्या होगा, this plus this will equal to what, वो सब मैं नहीं सोचते हुए कि emotional drive क्या है characters की और इस कहानी के साथ हम कहना क्या चाहते हैं. Because I think there is a sense of responsibility that I feel all of us have as storytellers.
Yeah.
Because we definitely add to the fabric of the society. We add texture to that. So इसका ये मतलब नहीं है कि एक ही टाइप की स्टोरी टेलिंग होनी चाहिए. लेकिन जब आप पढ़ रहे हो, as an audience, are you enjoying it? I think मेरा actually वो वही है कि मुझे कैसा लगा ये पढ़ के. मुझे क्या कुछ महसूस हुआ? और अगर हुआ तो क्या हुआ? और अगर हुआ तो then is it important and potent enough that this is what I want to explore and this is what I want to reach the audience. Then I do it. And be it Kya Massa Life, be it Masaan or be it Gone Kesh, जब मैंने ये कहानियाँ सुनी थी या पढ़ी थी, I knew कि यार I want to be a part of this world.
Gone Kesh is also beautiful. मतलब Masaan तो चलो is well established and widely talked about, but I think that's also another beautiful story. And what a great subject to cover.
Yeah.
I think so many people, I know so many people who have alopecia, and I think, it is a visual world, and I think we are all subconsciously vain to a large extent. I think, you know, a book is judged by its cover. जो दिखता है वही बिकता है. I think इस हम slogans ही इसलिए बोलते हैं क्योंकि कहीं ये सही होगा, you know. But मुझे ये भी लगता है, and this is another thing I wanted to discuss with you, कि जैसे स्टोरी टेलिंग आपने बोला, you know, कैरेक्टर पढ़ के मजा आना चाहिए. It should, you've liked playing, as you said, you know, simple girls, how they react to situations. Today I just feel like there's so much focus on a particular body type, a particular stereotype of looking a certain kind of way. And to me, that's a very far-fetched goal. Like, those are very high beauty standards. And I just feel like storytelling तो लोगों की होती है ना, और लोग ऐसे तो नहीं दिख रहे. तो मतलब, what is your opinion on what, let's say, some of the kids, the body standards or the beauty standards they're setting today for younger, you know, girls? Because I just think that's very unrealistic. It takes so much to look like Janhvi Kapoor, you know, but the regular girl is anyway not looking like Janhvi Kapoor. तो वो क्या सोचती होगी ये देख के?
I think right from filters to there are these beauty apps which change the structure of your face or which might remove a pimple or a blemish. My only thing is that हमें इतना दूर नहीं चले जाना चाहिए कि हम जब मिरर में अपने आप को देखें तो हमें वो इंसानी नजर ना आए. I think it's very important. There are certain things you're born with and there are some certain things that you can work upon. वो दो अलग अलग चीजें हैं. So what is not in your control, we should not obsess over that. What we should definitely obsess over is good health.
Yeah.
When you have a good gut, when you have a healthy mind, you will glow.
Yeah.
तो हम वो क्रीम लगाने से कुछ नहीं होगा. आप खाना क्या खा रहे हो, आप हाइड्रेट अपने आप को कितना कर रहे हो, आप बुक्स क्या पढ़ रहे हो, आपकी थॉट्स क्या हैं, बिकॉज थॉट्स बिकम थिंग्स.
Yeah.
And this is something I keep reminding myself every now and then. Two things actually. One is thoughts become things and the other is what's important now.
Yeah.
क्योंकि it brings you back to the present. And वही होता है जो हमने सुना है कितनी बार कि कल के बीते हुए कल के चक्कर में, आने वाले कल के चक्कर में हम वो आज की वाट लगा देते हैं. Because we are obsessing over things which are not priority, which are not important. तो क्या होता है कि आप अपना टाइम, एफर्ट, एनर्जी सब उसमें डाल रहे हो. वो क्रीम से ज्यादा अंडर आई क्रीम या फिर वॉशिंग योर फेस, आई डोंट नो हाउ मेनी टाइम्स अ डे, और यूजिंग दैट काइंड ऑफ अ sunscreen, all of that is very important. But even more important is, what do you think about yourself?
Yeah.
How satisfied are you? And how much sleep are you getting? Sleep is very, very, very important. We take pride in, you know, I pulled an all-nighter, या फिर मैंने बहुत काम किया आजकल मैं, जब भी कोई मैंने देखा ये बात करते ना कि you know, I just slept for 2 or 3 hours, people talk about it very proudly.
I think it's retarded, by the way. How are you functioning? It's
it
very
is
unhealthy.
Not good.
Yeah.
Because your body is healing, your body needs that rest. So please do not do that. Be careful about the number of cups of coffee that you're having or chai. तो ये सब भी help करता है. तो सिर्फ externally अगर हम concentrate करते रहेंगे with the face masks or those sheet masks, yeah, it will help you only surface level का.
Yeah.
आपको जो अपनी cleansing है, जो detox करना है, वो आपको internally करना होगा. So I feel there needs to be a balance in life.
Yeah.
Do that, have fun, but then don't obsess over it so much that it takes over and there is a pressure to look a certain way. Every body type is different. सबका मतलब bodily structure अलग होता है. I am all of 5 feet nothing. It has really not bothered me much. तो I think वो आपके नजरिए के ऊपर होता है, वो आपकी लेंस के ऊपर होता है. हम जैसे कैमरे की भी लेंस चेंज करते हैं तो सेम रियलिटी चेंज हो जाती है. तो वैसे ही अपनी जिंदगी की भी अगर हम कोई भी चीज एक अलग पर्सपेक्टिव से देखें, then you will take it, you will consume it in a very different way.
हाँ, वो नजरिया बदलो तो नजारा बदल जाता है वाली बात है ना.
Exactly. That's such a lovely line because I swear I apply that to my life and I see ऐसे चीज बदल जाती है. कोई भी situation, if you just change it and be like, oh, okay, it's not that bad. Or maybe if you change it and you'll be like, oh my God, this is so bad. Also, ये मार्केटिंग की दुनिया है, हम लोग कंज्यूमरिस्ट कैपिटलिस्ट वर्ल्ड में हम जी रहे हैं, तो वो तो अपना काम करे ना अच्छी मार्केटिंग के साथ, कि एल्बो के लिए यहाँ पे अलग क्रीम है, नेक के यहाँ के लिए, पीछे ईयर के लिए एक अलग क्रीम है. They are doing the job. We have to do our job, do our research. And also, you're adding to a lot of waste.
Yeah.
मुझे ये भी लगता है कि जो अलग 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 प्रोडक्ट्स हम ट्राई करते रहते हैं, वो सब जब खाली हो जाएगा तो वो कहाँ जाएगा? So इसलिए it's very important to be picky and choosy. Also, it's your skin. कुछ भी randomly चीजें प्लीज मत लगाओ. अगर ट्राई करना ही है तो वही किचन में जाके figure out and do not follow any trend or any information on Instagram. ये भी बहुत जरूरी है.
Make well-informed choices.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you derive your self-confidence from?
I think growing up, the experiences that we have, things that we hear, things that we see have a huge impact on us.
Yeah.
Things that we hear अपने खुद के घर पे, मम्मी पापा आपस में क्या बातें करता है, किस वॉल्यूम पे बात कर रहा है, हमें कैसे, बच्चों को कैसे ट्रीट कर रहा है. What are the choices that we are asked, told to take? Because then that much हमारी जो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होती है, आई थिंक वो पर्सनैलिटी बहुत बचपन में फॉर्म हो जाती है. तो हमें जो लग रहा होता है ना कि अरे बच्चे सुन नहीं रहे हैं, बच्चे सब सुन रहे हैं, जस्ट लाइक मे बी वेब कैम जैसे होता है ना, वो क्या कहते हैं उन्हें, CCTV, जो सब देख रहा होता है. आई थिंक बच्चे अगर कॉन्शियसली भी अगर आप नहीं सोच रहे हो, आप वो सुन रहे हो. इफ यू हियर एंगर, इफ यू सी लाउड वॉइसेस, कहीं ना कहीं वो ना एक फियर आ जाएगा. एंड लकीली टचवुड आई हैव हैड great parents who really gave me a solid upbringing where reading a newspaper was important. And why? Because you need to know what's happening in the world.
Yeah.
Ki it's important to know how blessed we are, how privileged we are. And there are so many people who just want the kind of education we have. तो एक sense of responsibility है आपको, मतलब ये मुझे लगता है कि अगर हम यहाँ पे बैठ के you and I are talking about this, this is also a huge privilege कि लोग हमारी बात सुन रहे हैं, हमारी opinions क्या है, हमारे thoughts क्या हैं, वो हम hope कर रहे हैं कि लोगों तक पहुंचे and लोग सुनेंगे and hopefully that they will take away something from this.
Yeah.
So I think, and we often think about कि आगे कितना और आगे जाना है, but we really do not think how far we have come. And I keep ये ऑफ लेट हुआ इनफैक्ट मिर्जापुर के बाद से, अभी रिलीज के बाद से जुलाई में, that I keep reminding myself that the younger me would be very happy sipping the kind of coffee I want to sip, wearing the kind of clothes, having the kind of team that cheers for me, that encourages me to be better, having the conversations that excite me.
Yeah.
यही तो करना है लाइफ में, मजा ही तो करना है in the right way. And if we can contribute to the society, into the mindsets of people and hopefully sway them into feeling what we want them to feel, then I think that is a huge achievement.
Yeah.
So it's important to be practical, logical, all of those things, but also it's very important to keep
patting yourself on the back.
क्योंकि हर दिन अलग है. तो हर दिन कई बार वही ना मुश्किल होता है, आपको कुछ किसी दिन कुछ मन नहीं करता. Even अभी I'm telling you 3 weeks, I didn't know how to behave. There were certain days I used to wake up all like, wow, कितना सही जा रहा है, मिर्जापुर अभी रिलीज हुआ है, with the kind of love I'm getting, the kind of reviews. This is, मतलब मैं तो एक्टर बनने आई थी, मुझे नहीं पता था कि ये हो जाएगा. बहुत कुछ हो गया है
कि आप लिबरेट ही कर दोगे इतने सारे.
हाँ, मतलब बहुत खुशी होती है that आप तो अपनी ड्रीम फॉलो करते करते I want to be an actor. अब ये स्टार बनना, सेलिब्रिटी बनना, इंस्टाग्राम पे इतने फॉलोअर्स करना, इट्स ऑल अ प्लस. मुझे एक्टिंग करनी है, मुझे आज भी वही करना है जो मुझे इतने साल पहले करना था. सो आई थिंक इफ यू आर हैप्पी विद व्हाट यू आर डूइंग एंड वेयर यू आर हेडिंग इन लाइफ, that also gives a lot of
confidence,
validation and confidence.
You know, interestingly, I used to think this before, that when I was younger in my 20s, I would say I think 70% of my self-confidence came from how I looked and 30% came from who I was. And I think as I outgrew my 20s and I skilled myself and I went through whatever I went through, as everybody does in their life, over the last decade, I think it's reversed now.
What do you mean?
I think 70% of my self-confidence today comes from who I am, how skilled I am, my personality. And 30% comes from perhaps how I look, and I'm not going to deny that. But I've really enjoyed that transition. I've enjoyed that today I can wake up and, for like maybe 300 out of 365 days, not care about how I look.
Yeah.
It just doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Because I know that I have substance, at least more compared to what I was, a decade ago. What has that journey been like? Kind of coming of age, perhaps, for you?
I think बचपन में हम कई बार चीजें करते हैं पर हमें समझ नहीं होती कि हम क्या करें, क्यों कर रहे हैं. वो now I realize that, oh, okay, this is why I did what I did. Like my choices have been, I think, hugely influenced because of my upbringing. My dad's an IS officer, mom's a teacher, sister is a headmistress. तो कहीं ना कहीं I come from a family of where we want to make a difference, we want to give back to the society.
Yeah.
तो मुझे लगता है कि जो मुझे लगा था पहले कि मुझे यश राज की हीरोइन बनना है, मुझे आज भी बनना है, डिपेंडिंग ऑन द स्टोरी.
या
मतलब बीइंग अ हीरोइन, बीइंग अ फीमेल एक्टर is very important, but I think even more than that, what matters to me is when people see me on screen, what am I doing? So वहां से वो जो journey, I love the whole kidnap look. I can't tell you, more than looking pretty on screen, I really enjoy the bruised look or the Golu hideout look. कि जब शत्रुघ्न वो जो बनाए, जब थप्पड़ पड़ता है, and then I look back, because I actually have not seen many characters like that.
Yeah.
कि जनरली हम देखते हैं कि जब एक थप्पड़ पड़ता है एक अलग रिएक्शन होता है. So I love it. Golu makes me so happy.
I can say that.
That when she gets slapped, even though she's afraid, she does not want to show it to him.
Yeah.
She obviously उसको डर लग रहा है यार, उसको नहीं पता वो कहाँ पे है, वो नहीं पता है क्यों है, खैर वो पता है. But she doesn't want to give up, and she's a fighter, and she wants to fight back. तो वो वाली जो लुक्स होती है ना, इवन ये काली काली आंखें, अरे मामा के सीजन 1 में पूरा जो किडनैप्ड वाला था, मुझे तो बहुत मजा आता था. ये जो पूरी जो अनकेम्प्ड लुक होती है ना, because I think it'll be tougher for me when my character has to look very proper or beautiful or stunning, because I enjoy that for events, but I like to get lost in my character.
But that's because Shweta, you know you're skilled, तो आपको फर्क नहीं पड़ता है.
I think I enjoy it more. मतलब मुझे लगता है कि I want to look like the character. अब कैरेक्टर जैसा दिखता हो, मुझे वो दिखना है. उसमें then I can play within that, but I do not जबरदस्ती want to make my character pretty or whatever it is, because like for Golu, I changed my body because I wanted Golu to look different.
Yeah.
कि लड़की अगर छोटी सी लड़की गन उठा रही है तो लगना चाहिए कि yes she can do whatever she wants. और गोली पे थोड़ा लिखा है कि size क्या of the person shooting or of the person throwing the गोली.
Yeah.
तो मुझे I like breaking stereotypes. I really enjoy that. क्योंकि क्यों ये हमने जो एक चीज सुना है and जो कि I'm sure for a particular reason चलती आ रही है, जो conditioning हो रही है. But come on, now like you said, we are talking about evolving through the ages and with our experiences. We were different. We are evolving and we are where we are, thankfully, because of the people who've been doing this every day. You and I are sitting here to touchwood confident individuals, females, and following. I studied fashion.
Yeah.
You studied music.
Yeah.
And then I'm guessing finance.
Yeah.
But we are exploring because we have that confidence, and I think more than confidence, वो चाह है हमें कि करते हैं ना, देखते हैं फिर क्या होगा. Like I was listening to somebody's podcast and that person said, I don't want to open this thing because, there are so many brands that have opened like that and failed. And failed, so what? मुझे लगता है कि हम वो failure पे और mistakes पे इतना पता नहीं हम उसको डरते क्यों हैं. It's okay to fail. It's okay. I want to do something, and if I'm not okay or great at that, and if that thing does not do well, it's all right. Learning तो होगी ना.
Yeah.
मुद्दा वही है. हमें सीखना है और आगे बढ़ना है.
So I think that maybe is your evolution, कि it's just growth focused.
Yeah.
It's focused on, and it's, I think the last perhaps decade or 15 years have given you confidence to just be the character that you're playing, explore different forms of art, because I know you write as well and you write beautifully. I've heard your poetry. And I think that is what is perhaps like your USP as a person, just that you are innately curious, you want growth. And I heard somewhere you went to your dad and you said, I know what I want to be. I want to be happy.
Yeah.
And I think that mindset is a beautiful mindset to have, and it takes a while to get there.
Yeah. And I think ये मैंने किसी और क्या सुना होता ना, I would have been like, ये तो झूठ बोल रहा है, झूठ बोल रही है. But I'm telling you that I think if you chase happiness, then, and ऐसा नहीं कि हर दिन खुशी होगी और मतलब road blocks नहीं होंगे, वो सब होगा. But then वो anyway होगा. So you might as well do it for something that you're excited about.
Yeah, enjoy the process.
Enjoy the process, and obviously it's easier said than done. And especially again, you and me sitting over here, लोगों को लगेगा अरे तुम लोग तो यहाँ पहुँच गए हो.
As privileged people, sure.
Yes,
yeah.
But हमारे हर मुश्किलें सबकी लाइफ में आएंगी ही आएंगी. And one thing I think बचपन में till date I really like to protect my instinct, my gut, because now what has happened is I realize कि wow यार मैंने जो instinctively जो चीजें जो decisions लिए हैं ना, they've not gone wrong.
Yeah.
So I feel कुछ तो है जो सही जा रहा है. So I want to protect that. I want to keep that in check, because the world around us, the world in our hands, our screens, they try to tell us a lot of different things.
Yeah.
How to be, who to be, how to eat, how to sit. उस सब के ना जब इतना ओपिनियन ओवरलोड हो जाता है तो कई बार आप अगेन वो बह जाते हो.
Yeah.
कि आप खुद ही भूल जाते हो कि who are you?
Yeah.
So those things, those questions are important.
Speaking of instinct, my mom had said this to me and I found it so profound. She said that, prayer is when you are talking to God. Instinct is when God is talking to you.
Wow. Yeah.
And genuinely, I think that if you are even remotely like spiritual or close to, kind of exploring yourself and knowing yourself better, I think instinctive choices will always get you to where you want to be.
Yeah, because I think there is a certain connection with universe, with energies, with God, whatever you want to name it. But I agree with how she thinks.
Achha, let's talk a little about love, but not in the conventional sort of way. But of course, you've said this before, but just like summarize it on, how you met your partner. And I'll tell you why. There is this video that went viral on the internet where I think both of you are on stage together. Okay? I know you know what I'm talking about. And you're looking at him with so much love and admiration. And I saw it and I was just like, this is beautiful. It's rare almost today. How have the two of you managed to keep this relationship the way that we've seen it, literally live in action actually?
One thing that really works for us is being honest. And पता है ये सारी जो simple चीजें होती है ना जो हमने we've been hearing since ages, they are very true and they have survived the test of time, because अगर आप वो सुनोगे, समझोगे और अगर आप उसको follow करोगे, then you will agree that ये सारी चीजें इनसे फर्क पड़ता है. Like for example, respect. And by respect, I don't mean just in conversation, but even respect for each other's dreams.
Yeah.
Which might not be similar, which will be different. You might not agree to it, but it is that you understand and you are cheering for each other, even on days when we ourselves are not cheering for ourselves.
Yeah.
So to have that much faith, to have that much commitment, to have that much discipline, and how you keep inspiring and motivating each other, ये बहुत ज़रूरी होता है. Because again, both of us are, we are creative people.
Yeah.
And we have our different moods, and there are different things that I really enjoy reading. He doesn't. But इसका ये मतलब नहीं है कि एक चीज़ सही है और दूसरी चीज़ गलत है.
Yeah.
तो वो understand करना कि आप दो जिसमें एक जन नहीं हो, आप दो individuals हो जिनकी दो different अलग-अलग different needs हैं, different सपने हैं, expectations हैं life से एक दूसरे से, तो वो समझना बहुत ज़रूरी है.
Yeah.
And not taking each other for granted, क्योंकि किसी भी relationship में वो हो ही जाता है. But no, that should not happen, because जैसे ही हम वो granted लेते हैं ना, तो वो it just that's not fair. That's not fair to the person, and it's also not fair to the relationship that you have. Another very important thing is to realize that with time we change.
Yeah.
तो वो बदलाव आएगा हम में भी और सामने वाले में भी. So how do you respond to that. Conversations are very important. अगर कोई भी चीज है जो आपको खटक रही है, आपको बॉदर कर रही है, अगर आप उसको रहने दोगे और बस दिल और दिमाग में उसको कहीं बैक ऑफ द माइंड में भेज दोगे, वो कभी ना कभी वापस आएगा, वो गायब नहीं हुआ है. So what is very important is to untie that knot.
Yeah.
Have that discussion no matter how difficult it might be, how
I couldn't
hard
agree
that
more.
might be.
I told my sister this, and something was bothering her, and she said, and I said, why don't you talk to this person about it? And she said, no, you know what, it's okay, it's not important. I said, if it was not important, it wouldn't have even bothered you enough to discuss this with me.
Correct.
The fact that you are talking about it or wanting to vent means it's important, means that otherwise you wouldn't have realized it only.
Yeah.
आप realize कर रहे हो, आप उसको process कर रहे हो, तो वो important इतना तो है. तो have a conversation, maybe not when you're angry, maybe when you're a little more relaxed, but express how you're feeling so that it doesn't stay with you and तुम कुड़ते ना रहो अंदर से बाद में.
Absolutely, expressing is very important. चाहे like I have realized कि again journaling, हमने इतना सुना है from therapists, from social media, that journaling is very important, and I realized that बचपन में ना वो dear diary होती थी, वो journaling ही तो थी.
Yeah.
So वहाँ से start, खैर बचपन में तो I think I used to try also. I used to take those diaries जिनमें lock walk होता था because of the way they looked, not really for what I was writing. But now I know on the days, and I'm not regular with it, and not proud about it, and it's okay. But on days where मेरे दिमाग में, if you've seen Inside Out, anxiety takes over or any emotion takes over, when I put pen to paper, it just flows out, and maybe it might not be that particular incident or event or emotion which is coming out, but कुछ अलग ही निकलता है. And जब वो निकलता है ना, it really निकलता है, तो बहुत जरूरी है. So even if you want to tell something to your partner or a friend or any person for that matter, send a voice note, send a text, meet that person for coffee, letter लिख दो, email लिख दो, पर बात करो. क्योंकि कई बार I've realized जब हम बात करते हैं ना, तो हमें दूसरे का नजरिया समझ में आता है, क्योंकि अदरवाइज हम लोग अज्यूम कर लेते हैं, एंड व्हाटएवर वी आर गोइंग थ्रू, हम उसको उस फिल्टर से दिखते हैं. बट वो जो सामने वाला हो, वो भी व्हाटएवर दैट पर्सन इज गोइंग थ्रू, और इफ दैट पर्सन इज हंग्री और एंग्री अबाउट समथिंग एल्स, या फिर किसी ने कुछ कमेंट पढ़ लिया हो, आपका मूड चेंज हो जाता है, बिकॉज देयर आर सो मेनी थिंग्स दैट इन्फ्लुएंस अस नाउ. पहले लोग होते थे, होर्डिंग्स होते थे, अब लिटरली we are like, if there was a phone between you and I, that is as good as having a person.
Yeah.
क्योंकि वो कोई भी अगर कॉल करेगा now, which is why I make it a point not to have my phone around if possible. And even if I do, then मैं उल्टा रखना चाहती हूँ, because I do not want to give so much access to whoever. It doesn't depend on who the person is. That is not important. What is important is कि आप खुद कितना accessible बन रहे हो दुनिया के लिए. तो check your phone, use it for connection when you want to do it.
Yeah.
ऐसा नहीं कि दुनिया से एकदम कट ऑफ हो जाओ, मैं वो नहीं कह रही हूँ कि फिर लोग आपको to get in touch with you, people are struggling. But let's not overdo that, because then we are giving that much power to that single entity who so many people have access to.
But that's really hard now, matlab, at least for you guys, because as artists, as actors, as popular sort of performing artists, people want more of you. They want to know you beyond, because look at like the girls who are dressing up like Golu. अब उनको गोलू में श्वेता दिखती है, श्वेता में गोलू दिखती है, right? उनको तो और चाहिए ना आपसे. But अगर उनको और चाहिए तो to keep that balance of like making sure that, you know, nobody is really taking away, you know, sort of your mental peace, but also you are still connected with the people who really want to be connected with you. That balance, I imagine, can be really hard to strike.
It can be, and it's what you tell yourself. Like, for example, Instagram insights are very important for business.
Yeah.
But now I do not want to time everything, all my posts or stories के अच्छा भी time क्या है, और फिर उसके मतलब जैसे एस्ट्रोलॉजी के हिसाब से होता था ना, और वैसे ही इतना वो stats, and stats are important. I'm not denying that, but I do not want to live my life. अगर मेरा कुछ मन है डालने का, मुझे शेयर करना है. वरना there was this period where I was paying so much attention on, oh my god, ये डालूं या ये नहीं डालूं, या पहले भी लोग वो following me because they wanted to follow me. तो अगर वो थोड़ा ऊपर नीचे सही गलत हो गया तो चलेगा ना.
But that's because your Instagram personality is like really cool.
But why? I do not want to let go of that enjoyment because there is so much pressure. वो मुझे नहीं करना कि लोगों को क्या पसंद आ रहा है वो जानना जरूरी है. But I do not want to put out just कि लोगों को क्या पसंद आ रहा है. I want to put out मुझे जो पसंद आ रहा है. कि जितने भी अनफॉलोज होंगे ठीक है
जी, तो आप खुद के लिए रहे हो ना.
एग्जैक्टली. और जो जितने लोग फॉलो कर रहे हैं I want to respect that. Those people are following me because I want to be true to how I am and what I am, and I want people to know that. Like, people know my characters, and thankfully the characters have been so memorable.
Yeah.
And they have affected people. They've affected me as an audience as well. But I want people to know me. I want people to know the Shweta in me, not the Golu, not the Shikha, not the Shalu, not the Inakshi, not Dr. Shreya Pathare. I want them to know who I am.
Yeah.
I want them to connect with my thoughts, with how I feel, because again, I feel that we are blessed to have a voice, and if we can use it for just telling people something
meaningful,
then why not? या फिर just to entertain, that's also fine. आपको जो भी करना है लेकिन वो आपके अंदर से आना चाहिए.
Authentic होना चाहिए.
Authentic होना चाहिए, because as soon as it becomes a task or a thing to do on the to-do list, then you will have fun ticking it, but you won't have fun doing it.
Very fair point. That's actually very well said, that you'll have fun ticking it but not fun doing it.
Yeah.
And that's enjoying the process is so important.
Yeah. वही journey. But सही बात है, because हमें लगता है कोई चीज destination है. But अगर what if Mirzapur 3 is not the destination, that is also part of the journey.
Journey तो बहुत लंबी है, वो तो chapter है.
Exactly. वो हम जब chapters को destination बना लेते हैं या सोच लेते हैं, I think problem वहाँ पे होती है.
Somewhere I read कि, you know, like even when you're getting over heartbreak, think of the person, whether it's a boy or a girl, as a chapter and not the book.
True.
कि अभी तो इतने लोग मिलने हैं, इतने साल बाकी है, शायद जिस पे आप you know, the person you're obsessing about so much might not even be important retrospectively to be a chapter in your book.
True.
And you're spending so much, you know, of your time investing or wallowing over something that might not even in the eventuality make it to a chapter.
Correct.
In the book of your life.
Correct.
So I think that's important, to have the sort of objectivity to be like, कि अभी तो book लिखी जा रही है. हर चीज ही जर्नी है.
हर चीज ही जर्नी है. I swear, and you and I know that, but sometimes I have to remind myself also.
100%.
वो क्योंकि again depending on the day you're having or the sleep that you or the dreams that you had or PMS.
Yeah.
You have to keep reminding yourself that this is what I want to, which is why maybe affirmations, they really work, or the kind of books that you want to read. Because like when I watch good content, it really charges me up. When I read, अभी मैं मेलुआ पढ़ रही हूँ. And
beautiful.
Really,
love it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think books also come to you at a certain point in life.
Yeah.
When you are ready for them. So I think life के मजे लेने चाहिए, लाइफ को समझने की कोशिश करनी भी चाहिए, और कई बार समझने की कोशिश नहीं भी करनी चाहिए.
Agreed. I agree. What has been your greatest failure and what have you learned from it?
Greatest failure? I think failures तो रोज कुछ ना कुछ होते ही रहते हैं, कि जिससे जो हमें चीजें पता है, जब मैं उन्हें implement नहीं कर पाती हूँ, जब मैं खुद उन्हें भूल जाती हूँ, I think that I feel as a failure. Even when there are certain things that I do, I'm not really the most disciplined or routine person. But I know when I do those certain things, I feel better. Even physically. Like for example, I know that when a simple thing like when I brush at night, I feel better when I wake up in the morning. But then when I'm lazy, I don't do that. I know that when I wash my face, and again, it's not about the cream, but it is about touch. आप कोई भी cream लगा लो, कोई भी face wash लगा लो, पर वो आप जितना attention, आप किसी भी चीज को attention दोगे, चाहे पौधे को या अपने किसी thought को,
वो thrive करेगा.
वो thrive करेगा, because that is the law of nature. So when I do that, like today I knew that मुझे आना है यहाँ पे, and there will be makeup on my face and there will be lights, and I want to look a certain way, because not because I want to be perceived, But I want to put this effort for the kind of effort that we are putting over here. The effort that the audience is putting, watching and listening to this. I enjoy dressing up.
Yeah.
So, even though I was very lazy and it was a Sunday और मैं ice cream खा के बैठी हुई थी, but I was like, no, I need to do this. And in fact, Cheeta and I, we both were brushing, and as soon as I washed my face and I had finished with my night routine, I told Cheeta that I'm the best girl in the world, because I want to give myself that much credit.
Yeah.
कि चाहे वो आपने उतना ही कर लिया हो ना, I want to celebrate that. On days when I feel कि चलो ज़्यादा देते हैं ना, but नहीं, अगर तब भी कर लिया, that's a win.
But that's a very interesting way to do it, because then that means the expectation or the validation or the happiness that you derive from a win, you're setting yourself up for small wins every day.
Yes.
And then the failures don't seem that big either.
Yeah, क्योंकि failure तो होंगे ही होंगे. वो तो मतलब life में कहीं नहीं जा रहे हैं failures. No matter how much money we might make, वो हमें लगता है ना कि ये जब हो जाएगा तब सब ठीक हो जाएगा.
वो तो नहीं होता.
Exactly. क्योंकि जब वो हो जाएगा, it will come with its own set of things.
Yeah. There's a price for everything.
Yeah, वो अपना parcel के साथ आएगा.
Yeah, there's a price to success, there's a price to popularity, there's a price to, failure, there's a price to love, there's a price to everything. So
True. Mirzapur type of series आप करोगे, which is one of the most loved series of the country. कुछ लोग को बहुत पसंद आएगा, कुछ लोग को उससे तकलीफें होंगी, and it's all right.
Yeah.
वो होना चाहिए. हम मतलब वो एक बिरयानी तो नहीं बना रहे हैं जो सबको पसंद आ जाएगी. उसमें भी कुछ को हैदराबादी पसंद होती है, कुछ को लखनवी पसंद होती है,
किसी को इलायची पसंद होती है, किसी को नहीं होती है.
चाय, a basic simple thing like चाय, सबके अलग अलग preferences होता है.
True.
So I think failure को failure की तरह ना देखते हुए, उससे आप देखो कि आपको learning क्या लेनी है, and keep moving on. So I think it is important to see and celebrate your wins of the day or of the hour, however you want to do this. But I think वो बहुत जरूरी है मेरे लिए.
I think, from what I'm guessing, you are someone who comes from, the thought process that happiness is a choice. Am I right?
Yes. And there is, कई बार वो choice अगर मुझे happy होना भी हो, पर वो नहीं हो पा रही होती हूँ. Because of, again, it could be because of a situation or because of a project that I really wanted और नहीं मिला, या फिर मुझे खाना बहुत affect करता है. तो मुझे घर के खाना बहुत पसंद है. अगर कोई भी मुझे अपने घर पे बुला ले, मैं तो भागती हुई चली जाऊंगी. But even a simple thing like अगर खाना, I believe a lot in energies. तो कई बार ऐसा भी हुआ है कि there was this lady who had come to cook for us, and I just felt she was not happy while cooking. And इतना weird था that my sister-in-law and I, we were talking about house help. And जब उसकी बात हुई, I ran to the bathroom to throw up. Because उससे पहले there was just something about her energy, and because I had eaten that. And सबका ऐसा हाल नहीं होगा, but मुझे उतना इफेक्ट करता है. So I try to keep telling myself that empathy is very important. But कई बार क्या होता है कि वो मैं इतना I take the emotion of the other person, then मैं ही हिल जाती हूँ. तो फिर मुझे लगता है it's very important to protect yourself, because then you can help the other people.
Yeah.
तो ये छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं जो हम अपने बारे में भी समझते रहते हैं, सीखते रहते हैं. And we keep adding to the list of things. There are days where I wake up where I've not had the best dream. But then I have these list of affirmations. And when I read that, and I have picked them, ऐसा नहीं कि मैंने, there's this book that I read called Powerful. तो उसमें से मैंने affirmations अपनी choose करके खुद लिखी हैं about the things I want to remind myself on a daily basis. Or it's my go-to whenever I need strength from that, and it helps.
Yeah.
So no matter what your routine might be, keep those totems next to you, because they help you on whenever you're feeling thoda zooey.
Fair. One more thing on the internet, on your Instagram, that's quite evident is your friendship, I think, with Mallika Dua. I think both of you are very expressive about how much you adore each other. I wanted to ask you, I know this personally, but of course I want your opinion on this, is how important are female friendships?
I think any sort of friendship is very important. चाहे वो आपके pet के साथ हो, चाहे वो एक working relationship हो, because खुद relationships में we thrive.
Yeah.
And I really like the word thrive because I feel there is a certain kind of magic in that word. And you should surround yourself with people who are rooting for you, who are cheering for you, and who are also honest.
Yeah.
क्योंकि कई बार मतलब a good friendship is not कि जो हमेशा वाह वाही कर रहे हैं आपके या आपके हाँ में हाँ मिला रहे हैं. It's important to have people around you who tell you their opinion. You might agree or disagree. That is totally up to you. But we should have that. हमें इतना gracious होना चाहिए कि हम एक बात तो सुन पाए एक दूसरे की. Female friendships because एक way में हमें बोला गया, you know, be it our friends also और even personality types जो होती है ना कि अगर कोई vocal है या फिर अगर कोई अपनी मन की बात चाहता है तो वो vamp है.
हाँ, क्योंकि women actually सिनेमा में largely या victims या vamps ही होते हैं.
हाँ, मतलब कि if you are vocal about your desires, जो कि thankfully अब हो रहा है, and the desires could be sexual, it could be political, it could be about dreams, it could be you just want to be a homemaker. But वो decision हमारा होने दो ना. So I think strong female friendships make you believe, yes, you can have whatever dream you want to have, and we are there with you and for you.
Yeah.
And secure relationships. Like Malza and I don't know if you're possessive actually. I know how much we love each other, but we're also very secure. कल को अगर उसकी और कोई नई friend बनेगी who she is very close to, I know the position that I hold in her life and that she holds in my life. So वो I think security बहुत जरूरी है. ऐसी relationships बहुत जरूरी हैं जहाँ पे आपको पता है कि आप judge नहीं किए जा रहे हो.
Yeah.
That you can share whatever without thinking यार ये सामने वाला मेरे बारे में क्या सोचेगा. क्योंकि आजकल हम इतनी जल्दी कर लेते हैं ना. क्यों, क्या होगा उससे? It's so important to take a step back to think from a neutral point of view. So I think good female friendships are important because then you can discuss anything from how you're feeling to what you want to achieve in life to where you might want to travel or what you want to wear.
Yeah.
So I think female friendships actually have so much to offer. Mals, she makes the best chai. The way she serves food. वो इतनी प्यार से खिलाती है ना कि मेरा तो बस मन करता है उसके पास जाकर मैं पड़ी रहूं. I know I can discuss anything, be it career related, management related, or boy or girl related. Anything with her. And she will tell me not what I want to hear. She will tell me what she thinks and feels.
That's very important.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that is what is basically kind of centering you and giving, I think, friendships में feedback देना बहुत important होता है.
बहुत जरूरी है. Yeah.
You know?
Without the डर कि सामने वाला क्या सोचेगा या सामने वाले को क्या लगेगा अगर मैं ऐसे बोलूंगी.
मतलब I think ये तो given होना चाहिए कि relationship की equation change नहीं होएगी, but at least perspective change हो जाएगा.
True. And as friends, we should do that. We should encourage each other to do better, to be better versions of ourselves. जैसे कल ही मलजा में हम लोग savings की बात कर रहे थे. So this is also what girls discuss. And I think it's very important that figure out if you're good with numbers and finance, then how can you be of help to the people around you?
Yeah.
Because others might not be. Or if you're good at styling, then it's important to tell your friend that what are the things she can experiment with. It can be a color, it can be a silhouette, but have those discussions. If you have knowledge, it is power and that should be shared.
Have you had more such friendships with, let's say, your co-stars that you worked with? Whether it's Masaan or whether it's Mirzapur or, you know, like any other friends that you have that you rely on for good advice?
I have been very lucky with the kind of people I've worked with. So even not just co-actors, but even directors or writers. I've been on a set जहाँ पे मैंने अपनी writer friend को message किया और बोला है कि आप please मुझे बता दोगी कि इसको मैं better way में कैसे कह सकती हूँ. And they tell me that. And then that makes me better also कि अच्छा इन्होंने ऐसे इस शब्द को ये बोला है. So now next time before asking even I will try to think in that direction.
Yeah.
So the people that you surround yourself with, they make you better. Relationships wise, even my directors, something abhi just happened recently. And when I told my director that, he was so upset about it. And because he was so upset because of something that how I was treated, I felt so safe. कि यार ऐसे these are the kind of people that I'm surrounded with, so that makes me feel very protected. emotionally, intellectually, and also creatively. So I know that when I go for a screening, जैसे अली की एक screening के लिए मैं गई थी और मैंने उसको बताया नहीं कि मुझे क्या लगा, and उसने मुझे झाड़ा है next दिन फोन करके. That how could I not be honest with him? Because that's the thing, we care about each other. Yes, we are actors. Yes, we are public figures, stars, but that honesty is very important. Because when we work with each other, it's nice to see somebody raising the bar.
Yeah.
So वो बहुत ज़रूरी है. In fact, we just saw a play at Prithvi, and Cheeta was sending voice notes to our friend, and he was telling them कि उसको क्या लगा. And literally I was like, that is so important. क्योंकि अगर सब लोग सिर्फ yes yes wow wow clap clap करेंगे तो हमें कैसे पता चलेगा कि यार honest feedback क्या है. And like you said, feedback is very 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 important. Constructive feedback.
Yeah.
तो वो जरूरी होता है लाइफ में. So be directors, co-actors, मजा आता है when they are doing well, when you see something like Ali. Literally हम अभी अली के घर गए हुए थे, Mals, Cheeta and I, to meet the baby and Richa. And I was asking Richa also कि हीरा मंडी में वो जो उसने जो scene perform किया है,
too good,
goosebumps,
too good.
How do you do that? और अली से भी कि how does he use breathing? और when he approaches a scene, in that scene, what is he thinking? बहुत सीखने को मिलता है. तो अगर ऐसे लोगों के साथ आप काम कर रहे हो जो आप ही को, जो आपके दोस्त हैं और आप ही को मोटिवेट कर रहे हैं, then that's a win-win situation.
We had a chat with Richa before Heera Mandi was about to release, and she seemed like such a cool person.
She is.
And someone who's very aware, self-aware, and very sort of not in the conventional way of an actress impacted by, let's say, the opinions of others or feeling the need to cater to, a certain kind of audience. And I think we spoke to her about Masaan as well.
Oh.
About her scene with Pankaj Tripathi. What a fantastic film,
yeah. Yeah. That film is love. And Richa, I think because she's very intelligent, she's witty, and she's not afraid to speak her mind.
Yeah.
And when you work with such actors, you really, truly improve.
Yeah.
And because of the way she treated me, I will try to always make it a point that I offer the same warmth, welcome younger actors, new actors, or old actors for that matter, because of the experiences I have had.
Yeah.
Veer Nawaz bhai in Haraamkhor. मतलब इतनी इज्जत जब आपको कोई देता है ना, तो I think it's a responsibility कि वो इज्जत आपको भी carry करनी है for other people.
Yeah.
Because life is, I think, one of the most important things is how you make people feel.
100%.
And that is totally in our control. तो अगर हम वो कर सकते हैं, तो लोगों को अच्छा feel कराता है ना.
And it stays with them.
It stays with them, and then I'm telling you, I think kindness multiplies.
Yeah.
अगर आपका mood अच्छा होगा, तो आप एक छोटी सी भी चीज कर दोगे, या फिर अगर आप thank you भी बोल रहे हो और मुस्कुरा के कह रहे हो, if you mean it, or even asking somebody, how are you? Let's mean that.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot happening in the world right now. And it will get tougher with climate change. मतलब अभी चाहे आप airports पे देख लो कि क्या हालत है, या फिर लोगों के मतलब गाँव ही जा रहे हैं. तो I think it's very important to be out of that bubble. Be in that bubble to protect yourself and your thoughts and your loved ones. But time to time, it's very important to know what's happening outside. Because I think now more than ever, we really need to step it up. And for ourselves, for the people around us, and also the world that we take so much from, I think it's important to give back in whatever way you can.
Yeah.
आप electricity मत waste करो. आप plastic में भरा हुआ पानी घर से carry कर लो ना, क्या चला जाएगा? वो मतलब literally 2 मिनट लगेंगे आपको bottle भरने में. उससे ज़्यादा नहीं है. But it's that every step matters. I really hope and wish and pray that people realize that every drop counts. तो at least हमारी जो drops हैं, वो we should be responsible for that.
Yeah, agreed. Very well said. I will take this with me. As we get to the end, Shweta, I want to ask you the question we ask everyone, which is, how do you go looking unwind after hours? What do you do to relax when you're not in the middle of shooting or writing the poetry that you recite, or you know, doing promotions or chats or all of your work? What do you do to just chill?
Music is something that really takes me into a different world.
Helps to have a husband like Cheeta then.
100% because his taste in music. In fact, अभी हम जो छुट्टी पे जा रहे हैं कभी it's a 5-hour drive from Bangalore, and one thing I'm really excited about is that because he always plays the music and his choice. I think I'm very proud of having a partner like Cheeta, and I tell him also that I thank myself for finding, choosing, being with him, asking him to be with me, because he is my favorite human.
Oh.
And what choices, so that really, क्योंकि आपका favorite human हो सकता है, but शायद his taste in music could be average. But I really feel happy about that. His taste in content, in music, in food, choices in life, everything is very... So...
good job, Cheeta.
Yeah. 100%, and good job me.
Yeah, good job, Shweta.
But music is something that really helps me. I try, in the morning, there is a Silva method, which is counting backwards. So I just try to read alag-alag cheezein, and whatever works for me, I retain that. So there is a Wim Hof breathing technique.
My mum does it every day.
I really would like to meet Auntie.
Please come.
Yes.
Please come
Next time I'm in
whenever.
Delhi,
Yeah.
we will make that happen.
Yeah.
So Wim Hof is something, thanks to Cheeta, I learned. And then if I know कि ऐसी अगर कोई news है which will throw me off, or if there are people that I'm going to meet which I know उनकी energy might throw me off, then I try doing a 10-minute का meditation. Just that क्योंकि जो होना है वो तो होना ही है. But I know that responding is always better than reacting.
Yeah.
So music, Wim Hof, Silva method, meditation and reading.
Yeah. You are my mom's dream child वैसे. वो इतना कुछ मुझे जो भी आप बोल रहे हो सब बोलती है, इसमें से मैं 60-70% कर लेती हूँ.
आप जब तक मेरी एज तक आओगे तो आपका majority percentage ये हो जाएगा.
हाँ.
Even coffee, like again numbering your cups in a day, because we don't realize that what we are consuming उसका क्या असर पड़ रहा है. तो पहले तो मैं मतलब रात में भी पी लेती, but now after 5 I make sure I'm not having chai coffee.
Yeah, same, मैं भी नहीं.
So it's those routine things that help you, but also you have to be mindful about the smaller things in life.
I think you are perpetually living in after hours only. You've designed your life in a way, and I think it's quite incredible, honestly, from this conversation, from what I'm taking. I think that you've really designed your life in a way which is very conducive to everyday happiness.
Yeah.
And everyday peace.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important.
Thank you. Another thing that I read in this wonderful book called The Good Life, उसमें it talks about how important relationships are. And there are some relationships, जैसे for example this. अब इसके बाद हम कहाँ मिलेंगे, कब मिलेंगे, ऐसा ज़रूरी नहीं that we have to keep in touch. But there are people and relationships that spark joy. And it's very important to hold on to those relationships.
Yeah.
Which might be seasonal. Which might be आप शायद एकदम रोड पे मिलते हो, या फिर आप किसी बुक क्लब में जाते हो, या किसी प्रमोशन में आप किसी जर्नलिस्ट से मिल रहे हो, तो आपका मिलना उतना ही है, बट वो पर्सन भी आपको बहुत खुशी दे सकता है.
Yeah, 100%.
So registering that I think is very important. तो रिलेशनशिप ये नहीं है कि आप रोज बात कर रहे हो, आप जब भी मिल रहे हो उस कम टाइम में आप क्या कर रहे हो, बातें क्या हो रही हैं, वो बहुत जरूरी होता है. So even if you are going for to get coffee और चाय, अगर आप एक ठेले से भी ले रहे हो, आप that interaction as opposed to just saying thank you without looking into the eye, when you mean that thank you and when you look into the person, this is another thing that I'm trying to do, कि जब भी मैं बात कर रही हूँ तो वो ना by the way चीजें नहीं हो रही हैं, आप चाहे 2 सेकंड करो, but at least try to be present, because you're not just making your day and your mood, you're also giving that energy to the person you're interacting with.
Yeah, it's an exchange, no?
It's an exchange.
Yeah. Agreed. Acha, just before you go, one last game we're going to play with you, because your Instagram username is Batata Vada, which I love, and I think you've told the story multiple times, so we won't get into that, but I'm going to give you 5 people, and you have to give them Batata Vada kind of usernames.
Oh.
Based on, and these are all people you know, so then you'll know like their food choices or what might suit them. So just give me a username like Batata Vada for Vicky Kaushal.
Like Batata Vada. So, omelette pav, and why I would say that is because once we were shooting for Masaan, and वो कहीं से omelette खाकर आया था और मेरा कुछ तो ऐसा heavy duty in the sense it was an emotional scene, तो मैंने खाया नहीं था. And then I saw him और मैं खाना देख लेती हूँ ना तो मैं बहुत tempt हो जाती हूँ. So I was like, अरे मतलब ये खत्म हो गया. And he said, don't worry, do your scene. And he went and he got that omelette pav for me. Exactly. Now, अब imagine ये कितनी simple सी चीज है. But मसान को 9 साल हो चुके हैं. उससे पहले शूट किया होगा हमने. It has stayed with me. So I think I would call him omelette pav because omelette pav का
connection है.
मन हमेशा रहता है और connection है. And I think Vicky is that he is an omelette pav because you can have it for breakfast, you can have it for lunch, dinner, and depending on the ingredients, you will स्वाद अनुसार आप change कर सकते हो, just like his characters.
Love. What about Varun Grover?
Oh my God. Varun Grover will be बनारस की कोई मिठाई. क्योंकि there is so much culture. He is so rich with that. So yeah, कोई बर्फी या कोई गुलाब जामुन. क्योंकि हम जब again मसान के लिए जब शूट कर रहे थे, we specially went to this place वहाँ का गुलाब जामुन खाने के लिए. So yeah, Varun Grover would be gulab jamun with lot of chashni.
Nice. Mallika Dua.
Mulzi D. Mulzi D would be a platter of assorted things. Okay, gunpowder. क्योंकि आप gunpowder किसी चीज में भी add कर दो
तो best हो जाता है.
Exactly, yeah.
Very nice.
And auntie used to make this lovely gunpowder जिसमें वो गुड़ डालती थी. So I know this because of Mulls only. So yeah, I think gunpowder would be my
Gunpowder is really good actually. It's a big compliment to be called that kind of a food also. Interesting. Ali Fazal.
Ali Fazal to has to be something protein related because
tofu.
Ooh, tofu. Actually, tofu. Because emotionally he's so childlike in the nicest way. उसके इतना प्यारा इंसान है ना वो. अगर आप एक थर्ड पर्सन के बारे में बात कर रहे होगे जो प्रेजेंट नहीं होगा, he won't take part in that conversation.
Wow.
He doesn't believe in talking about people behind their backs or gossiping about people. So no matter what you tell him, he'll just change the conversation. So I think he's very pure like that. So yeah, tofu would be nice. Actually उसको Lebanese खाना भी बहुत अच्छा लगता है. So maybe also dip.
Yeah, like hummus.
Like hummus. I think yeah, hummus would also be nice.
He could just be halloumi also.
True. Yeah. I think more exotic.
Yeah.
More not easy to find. Yeah, that would be Ali.
Okay, last one, of course, Cheeta.
Biryani. And that is because Cheeta is loved by so many. And again, biryani जो आपको जो flavor देती है उसमें protein भी होता है, depending या mutton हो या chicken हो. मैं veg biryani बोलूँगी तो बहुत सारी गालियाँ मिलेंगी. But I think Cheeta can have biryani every day of his life. So because of that biryani, and I think biryani is also very wholesome.
Yeah.
और आप चाहे बाहर की खाओ या घर वाली खाओ, very fulfilling. Yeah, very fulfilling. So yeah, biryani.
Great. Thanks, Shweta. I have to say that after a long time, I felt like I've chatted with a friend. It was a blast meeting you, talking to you, and thank you for coming. And I look forward to seeing your work and seeing you and having you over whenever you're in Delhi.
Absolutely.
And then we can discuss all things Wim Hof and more.
Yes,
My mom will very happily party.
100%. And I think if I had to name you something, I get a sense of a really nice candy. Which is very colorful. So yeah, you would be. In fact, वो जो
maybe one of the popsicles on your sari.
Oh yes. Just like, but a more colorful one. Like one, maybe like this one.
Oh,
yeah.
Thanks. But all the best. Love everything you've done till now, and rooting for you for everything that you do henceforth also.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.